Welcome back to Truck and Talk. I'm Stephanie Valle, and today's episode is all about the people who keep this industry moving every single day, our drivers. Manny Hernandez, a driver mentor for 23 years here at Mesilla Valley Transportation, is joining me today, and we're sitting down with him to talk about life on the road, what it's really like driving for MVT, and why choosing the right company makes all the difference. Manny, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So before we jump into our full conversation, we have a little segment that we like to call Fuel for Thought. So Fuel for Thought is when we pause for a moment to talk about something affecting drivers across the industry, not just today, but long term.
Okay.
So the first question is about the trucking industry continuing to face challenges like long hours, time away from home, and constant change. So from a driver's perspective, what do you think matters most when choosing the right company to drive for?
I think some of the right things to be looking for when you're looking for a company is like home time. Home time is a real big important thing. Another thing is like equipment. My first couple of years driving, because I got a total of 25. So my first 2 years with smaller companies, their equipment is, in my opinion, really below standard. Mesilla has good equipment. So I look for that and my home time that I really enjoy. When I get home, I enjoy my home time.
Yeah.
Those are the couple of things that really matter to me.
So if you're talking to maybe a new driver and you're telling them to look out for good equipment, what are some things that they should be looking for?
Uh, the trucks, the way they maintain them. Mesilla Valley has a really good like inspection. The inspection bays, every time we roll it, they inspect the whole truck. They go through the whole truck and everything. The cleanliness, they got the detail shop. You're always handed a clean truck. And of course, there's always little, you may, I prefer this type of truck or that it might have a little, whether this broken, but they repair everything pretty quick.
Okay. There's always a lot of talk about driver shortages, but not enough focus on driver retention. In your opinion, what makes a driver want to stay with a company instead of jumping to another one?
I think a lot of it, I think it's because of they have to want to be out there because everybody, I think, whether it's our dispatchers or one in the company, that's what they want us to do is run miles. So you have to, when you get into the trucking, I think it's a big thing that you do it because that's what you want to do, because nobody forces anybody on the truck. You get in there and you run miles, and if you don't run miles, well, then you're not going to make any money. And that's what I tell the people that I mentor. You have a lot of control. You the more you want to run, the dispatchers are thrilled to give you loads. You can be out there as long as you want, and everybody's happy. And a lot of people don't choose not to do that. So, I mean, and that's my opinion, that it's got to be a lot is on the driver.
Okay. So now let's get to our interview section of the
Okay.
podcast. So let's start simple. How long have you been driving?
A total of 25 years.
Wow.
Just right under or right over 25 years. Too long. I can't remember.
But you enjoy it. That's why
Oh,
you've been
yeah.
so long.
Yes. I come from my brother taught me how to drive, but at one point we were 5 brothers, or I was one of 5 brothers and one sister that were truck driving. I was the last one to get into truck driving. In my previous jobs, I thought I was happy there. And things didn't work out after about 20 years doing something else. And I just had a whim, decided to ask my brother if he would teach me how to drive. And never being in a truck in my life, at 36 years old when I started, I'd never been in a truck. And I got into it wanting to make a better life for my family.
Wow. So what made you choose Mesilla Valley Transportation?
My brother brought me in. The one that showed me how to drive, he came with Mesilla. I was running with a smaller company, and running a truck for an owner-operator. And my brother said, "Hey, Messilla's hiring." So I went over and applied 23 years ago. And believe it or not, in February, at the end of February, I'll be, that's my anniversary.
Wow.
So around this time, that's when I joined Mesilla. And been very happy ever since.
I have to ask you, is your brother still with Mesilla?
No, he became an owner-operator and he went on his own.
Okay.
but he, under his own authority, he did things on his own.
Well, that's totally fair.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. So do you remember your first week at MVT?
yes.
Tell me about it. What stood out to you?
Uh, the people, it's because it was a lot smaller, and like I said, I know there's other drivers that are in Mesilla right now that have even more years than I do. The thing is that I think it was the people that brought me in. There, a lot of them aren't here anymore, but they treated me real well. That I do remember that. The first day, they treated me real fair. I went to take my road test, and um, they hired me right away. But the way they treat you, and it's still basically the same to today. I know it's different people, whether it's dispatchers or their bosses or my boss under with that handles the mentors and stuff. But everybody treats you real well.
And I'm sure that matters, especially because you were coming in, like you said, a little older,
Yeah.
your new job, and that mattered that they treated you so well.
Yes. Yes. And it's just nice the respect that they show you, and like I said, they know that I'd never, I mean, I had 2 years experience, like I said, with a couple of other small companies, but when my brother said, this is a good company to join, so I jumped over it real quick, and I'm thankful that I'm one of the ones to be here.
So what kind of routes do you usually run?
Basically, I'll go anywhere. I like going anywhere. I prefer into the Northeast. That's my preference. If I could get loads every week to the Northeast, I'd be super, super happy. But I go just anywhere, whether it's, I really enjoy going to like New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, places like that.
And what is it about those routes that you like?
I don't know, the people, the food. I'm always, the way you see me is the way I work out on the road. So people say, hey, you wear a cowboy hat? Yeah, I wear my cowboy hat. And so people in New York, hey, Tex or whatever, it's, you don't, they'll tell you, hey, you got that bad accent or something. And I'm like, accent? You're talking about accent? From New York, it's very different. So yeah, I like being out there.
I bet that they really like seeing you roll up with your cowboy hat.
Yes, a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people do.
So how would you, going back to what you were talking about equipment, how would you describe MBT's equipment, the trucks, the trailers, and the overall condition?
They're, like I said, for the most part, I'm always in a new truck. You'll put miles in, they'll give you a new truck. And almost every year they keep bringing in trucks constantly. They're always constantly bringing in trucks. So, and like I tell you, the biggest thing is that they're well maintained. So if you see something on the road that you don't like about that truck, or that's a little that it needs to be replaced or repaired, they take care of it. They take care of it right away. You get to El Paso, hey, I need this, I need that. This seems to be not working, and they take care of it.
So a lot of drivers care about consistency. So how important is it to you that MVT keeps a consistent fleet and spec?
It's real important to me because as long as everybody's responsible, like I'm the driver, I'm responsible for what to deliver loads on time. They have their job too. So it's nice that if everybody's doing their little part, it makes my job so much easier. When the shop does theirs, when the inspection lanes do that, do theirs. I mean, dispatch, everybody. It makes my life a lot easier.
MVT prides itself on fuel economy. And so how does fuel economy and truck performance impact your day-to-day experience on the road?
I've learned, and I'm a few years back, I won the Harley Davidson when they were giving the Harleys away. So I've had my chance at that. So I've learned to slow down a little bit, because when I started with the smaller companies, the trucks are wide open. So they just get you more in trouble. And it takes you a little bit of time to move from running 80 or whatever you want, 80, 85 to let's say 70, 65, between 65 and 70. So it takes a little bit of getting used to it. But now, I mean, it's why you're doing it, for your bonuses, because they pay monthly bonuses off your MPGs. So you try and concentrate on that a lot. And the people that I'm with, you try and let them know that, that it's possible to win now that they're giving the little Nissans away. It's possible for anybody. Anybody can win that car.
Yeah.
Just takes a little bit of, a little bit of work.
Yeah, but you're proof of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell me. I've done it. It's been done, But yeah, at first it's hard when you come from different companies. If they're open to get used to Mesilla, that's to their trucks. But then you understand why, because nobody's gonna give you like an extra check every month just for doing what you're doing anyway. You know, and
Right.
it doesn't really matter whether you're running 65, 68. It's only 69. It's only 3, 4 miles an hour difference to earn extra money.
Yeah,
So
good point. So, what does communication look like between you and your fleet manager or dispatch?
really good, really good. Um, they've gotten better now. Even at night, what they'll do is if they don't answer, I'll get a call from one of them. Hey, I'm sorry, I was tied up on another call and stuff. They'll call you back and say, I noticed you called like 2 times. Yeah, yeah. So you tell them what your needs. The dispatch is pretty good. I try and give them a notice of when I'm going to be arriving at my destination so I can have something already waiting for me to get ready to roll.
Mhm.
Because the name of the game is you got to keep those wheels rolling. If you're parked, you're just not making no money.
I mean, that makes sense. So, if something goes wrong on the road, how supported do you feel?
Oh, really good. They've now that they have either whether it's Mesilla Road or Penske
Mhm.
that handle different parts of the truck, you get really quick road service out there. You know, um, at first you had to wait a few hours, and now they've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
They get there, take care of you, and you're back on the like I said, back on the road.
How does MVT treat drivers compared to other companies that you've worked for?
You know what I tell these guys that I mentor, like in my opinion, in whatever I little or a lot that I know, like Messia's like almost at the perfect size because they still know you. I go in the yard and people know me, and they get to you get to know other people. You're not a number yet. You're not a number. You go in there and they greet you, and whether it's a shop or the offices, the dispatch office, they it's nice. It's nice to be recognized or for what you do.
Mhm.
And instead of a number, I talk to drivers out there, whether it's different companies. I'll talk to other drivers, and mm, they they're basically they don't acknowledge them. They're just a number. Like I said, you're just in the truck and they're moving you.
Mm. So, when you're on the road, what is the one thing that MVT does that lets you focus on driving instead of stressing about anything else?
The few things that whether they give you a good truck, that which is constantly that's a good thing. So you don't have to worry about breakdowns. I can I can tell you that it's rare, even like blowouts, when you have flat blowouts on your tires. It doesn't happen very often,
Mhm.
because they're all you go to the Mesilla Valley terminal, and right away when they inspect the tires, okay, we're gonna need to change this one out, so they keep you going. They got plenty of customers, so you get there and you're rolling right away. I talk to other drivers. I've been here a day. They'll tell you that I've been here a day, 2 days, waiting on a load.
Mm.
I could never. I mean, never. It's never happened. Like I said, only during slow times, and they'll sit me a few hours, but otherwise, it's always constantly moving.
So, what does respect from a company look like to you? And do you feel that here?
Yes. Um, I think it goes both ways. I think you earn it. If you're a good driver and you do your job, you get that respect. No matter what. Because the same thing I tell the people that I mentor, they're basically because none of my bosses ever been in a truck with me. None of them have ever gone on a road trip with me. The thing is that they see you, I guess, on their screens and what you're doing, and off your record, off your delivery times, with the way you keep your truck, the way you turn in trucks, I guess. But I think that the respect that you have to earn it, and like I said, if you give them respect, you usually get respect back. In my opinion,
How does MVT handle safety, in your opinion?
good. I as far as like safety, you go in there, they like I said, if everybody does their part, you go into the safety department, they'll check your book. They even check your book, make sure all your permits are up in order and stuff, and all those little things that'll help you out on the road. Your decals to your IFTA decals, make sure you're legal to be out there
Mhm.
in a legal truck. Uh, I just finished getting drug tested, which is great. They they do real well during in the safety department. And they answer your questions, and they handle as much as they can. But I'm real happy with the safety department.
Yeah, I was about to ask you how you feel, but you feel happy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're good people. Like I said, the same thing with time. You get to know people in the safety department. So even they'll come and say hello, shake your hand, you know. So it's nice. It's nice. You're still part of, you know, you're still part of they understand what you're doing, and you feel like part of the family of Mesilla Valley.
And I'm sure it's also reassuring if they're thinking about safety measures that maybe you didn't consider.
Exactly. Yeah, and they'll send messages to be, which is good. Like this last time, hey, if you're coming into El Paso, there's going to be a real big backup. So lucky we were a couple of hours out still, so they had cleaned up the mess before we got here. But yeah, they're whether it's weather, be careful right here, or try and avoid this area. So they're real good about shooting messages to the drivers.
So, what does staying healthy on the road look like for you physically and mentally? And what have you learned over time about taking care of yourself as a driver?
A lot. Okay, that's one of the big things as far as truck drivers. I tell these guys that get on the road, hopefully they're not going to gain so much weight, because I guess I've already gone through my phase of the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the pizza. Now it's very different for me. For the past, I ended up losing like about 20 pounds after the first 5 years. I was struggling a little bit, so now I meal prep, and I don't. This may sound odd, or some people may not believe it, but and the people that will believe it are the people that I mentor, because I can tell them I don't spend a nickel out here in a week. I don't have to spend a nickel out on the road.
Wow.
I can live out on the road for a week and eat from the stuff that I buy and not spend one nickel.
Can you give us an example of what you food prep?
Yes. The way I meal prep is we'll cook, my wife and I will cook, whether it's rice, chicken, and vegetables, or rice, beef, and vegetables, rice, fish, and you put it in the Ziploc bags and you freeze it for a little bit, a few hours before you leave. And my cooler keeps them basically frozen. Every day you pop open a bag, you put it on one of the, they're called boats, the ones that you put the hot dogs in the truck stops and stuff. Cut the top off, and you eat. You didn't make no mess or anything.
Yeah.
But that's what I've learned. I take a bunch of fresh fruit, juices. I don't drink Coke out here. I don't drink Coke, period, for the past, very, very rare I'll drink a Coke. Once maybe a month, maybe once every 2 months I'll drink a Coke. I drink juices and a lot of water. But you learn that because, especially me, because now at my age, I need to take care of myself, because I have no other, this is it. This is how I want to finish my career. I would like, if possible, God willing, I want to finish my career with Mesilla Valley.
Yeah.
That's my plans.
So how has being a truck driver shaped your daily routine and life outside of the truck?
It's given me a lot of it's opened a lot of doors. It's given me a lot of opportunities, a lot of things to do for my family. My home time is real precious to me. I get home and I have thousands of things to do. I have a little place out going toward Waco Tanks, a little ranch out there, and that's what keeps me busy. And it gives me enough exercise. I exercise all day on my home time.
Yeah. I was about to ask you how important home time is to you, and your wife is in the room, so I'm sure she wants to hear that answer too. But how does MVT help you balance work and life and personal time?
They're really good about, what, one thing that I've been real thankful for Mesilla Valley, that during our hard times, whether they're family situations that have occurred, Mesilla has always gotten me home for those emergencies. And they understand, they do understand your home time. They know that I belong to them for the 70 hours. And once I'm home, they let me enjoy my home time. They don't bother me, or they're not calling me for anything. They let me enjoy my home time. But yeah, Mesilla, that's one real good thing about Mesilla, that if you have a situation, man, they'll get you home. They'll work with you. So that's what I appreciate about it.
So, what is one thing people outside of the industry don't understand about being a truck driver?
Hmm, how many things you have to worry about while you're driving. You tend to, after with time, you tend to know what the other driver's going to do. It's like real weird. Like, this guy's going to cut. I just know he's going to get in front of me, and sure enough, it happens. You're worried about everybody around you. You're in a little car, and you worry about your little car. But as a truck driver, you're timing as you're going along ramps. You're timing people coming onto the ramps, getting off of the ramps, the people trying to merge or get into your lane or exit your lane. That's the thing about it. And it just keeps you real sharp. If you got to be really paying attention, because I tell these guys that ride with me, it's super, super important, because in a second you can change people's lives.
Yeah.
So
Have you noticed any difference in how customers treat you when you're driving an MVT truck?
yeah, yeah, they some customers that I've noticed, but even like border patrol, at the checkpoints, they seem to recognize the truck, so they wave you through, or they'll give you small talk and stuff like that. And there's other customers that you get there, hey, Mesilla Valley, they just call you Mesilla. Mesilla, hey, Mesilla over here, Mesilla over there. So it's nice that they recognize the trucks and some of the drivers, I guess.
Yeah. So, what has been your proudest moment as a driver here?
Mm, probably winning. One of them was winning the bike. The other one was my hitting my 5 million mile mark. Those are things that I feel proud of accomplishing.
I have to ask you, how many years did it take you to hit that 5 millions?
I just turned them. I turned it about I'm gonna say almost a year ago, I guess,
Wow.
about 8 months ago, maybe. Then I turned my five. So I guess 22, a little over 22, maybe right at 22.
Wow, that's a lot of miles. That's amazing.
Mm.
So, how does it feel representing MVT when you pull into a customer's place or a terminal? And does that sense of pride matter to you?
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm telling you, it's the way you see me now is basically the way I what you see me if you see me on the road. For the time I'm out there, uh, and I try and emphasize that to the people that ride with me. You're representing Mesilla, so they're not allowed to wear certain things, and I'll tell them, hey, you got to represent, whether it's a cap, because sometimes you got to get off the truck at all hours of the day and night, and you don't want your hair. So I even if you wear a cap, you got to look presentable. With your no big old baggy shorts, things like that. At least that's what I try and do with my people. And believe it or not, some of these guys that get off, uh, before they get off, they start wearing hats, or I've had a couple of guys, hey man, I got a hat now. Or great, hey, that's great. Or you know what, I'm gonna get some boots. So it's nice. It's nice to see that.
Well, I guess that ties into your mentorship, right? Like they see what you do and they want to emulate. It's a form of respect, right? Or
Yeah,
admiration.
mainly, you know what? It's because I tell them that, like, you can say anything you want, you can talk as much as you want, or what you can do or what you can't do. You know what? Like, since we're like basically in a closet in that little truck,
Mhm.
okay? So there's very little that you hide. You are, and that's why I tell them, look, I am the way I am because that's it. I'm just too old to change. What you see is what you get. And I tell them, you can tell me all kinds of stories or what you think you can do or stuff, but you're going to find out,
Mhm.
because you live with this person for, at least I live with them for 3 months.
Yeah.
So there's not too much you can hide.
So let's talk a little bit about your work as a mentor. You're saying that they live with you for 3 months. You mean
Yes.
on the road?
Yes, they got to complete 60,000 miles, which basically, if you run them, those 60,000, it's roughly about approximately 3 months of time with you. So you first start with you riding in the passenger seat for the first 7 days, and they do all the driving. You just tell them, hey, you need to work on this, you need to work on that, and after that, you're a team. And after those 7 days, between 7 and 10 days, they become your partner. And that's when you start teaching them basically everything. And a lot of them that come out of school, whether it's hooking up, even fueling, how to fuel a truck, you know, routes, how to deal with customers, how to work with a tablet that they have for us. Um, so it's good. After about 3 months, you're never finished learning, but at least they can defend themselves pretty well. Okay, as far as backing and doing pre-trips and doing the job.
Yeah.
And after that, they're feeling real comfortable. But then it's time for them to go move on to the next step, and you get somebody fresh out of school
Yeah.
again.
So you spend a lot of time teaching those hard skills, if you will, but
Yes.
the soft things like advice. What advice would you give them?
Um, that's I'll tell you, like I let them know that like me, and it's not. I'll tell them first of all, it's not like to brag and stuff, but the trucking industry can give you a lot if you know how to do it right. Y- Like I said, my home, my cars, it's not all material, but it's nice that you can do things for your family. For my granddaughters. And I tell them that this job, if you do it right, wow, you can make not only your life better, you can make the people that you love, your loved ones, you can make their life better. You know, you can do things and it's nice. It's nice when you do that. And like I tell you, when my guys sometimes they'll get off and they'll call me back. You know what, Manny, my wife's always wanted, I don't know, a 2-story house or this type of a car, and they'll shoot me pictures. Finally got it. It's nice to know that you had that little bit of an influence on them.
Yeah. How many drivers do you think you've mentored?
Wow, I don't know. It's in about 20, because I started with Mesilla. And like I said, first I didn't even want to mentor, even though that's all I was doing, even in the restaurants. In the restaurants, in my other previous jobs, training people and training people and training people, employees. And when I started, it was about a year and a half into Mesilla. So I got about like 21 and a half maybe
Wow.
as a mentor. And I don't know, those, in that time, I've lost track of how many people I've done.
We're gonna have to pull out a calculator
Yeah, I
a
know.
little bit to find this out. If you're
Yeah.
training them and it's like 3 months per times,
Yeah.
months in a year. Okay, I can't do the long math, but we'll figure it out for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's amazing that you've been mentoring since a year into this
Yeah.
career. That's just like a fascinating fact. I love that. So for drivers who may be unhappy where they are now, what would you tell them about making a change?
Um, I've told them, and it's happened already a few times. Don't burn any bridges. Messia is such a good company. Go and learn. If that's in your heart and you want to do that, go ahead. But don't burn any bridges, because believe it or not, there's people that come back, and I'm like, hey, you're back again. Yep. It didn't work out, or they didn't treat me right. I'm like, well. So, and I tell them it's because you sometimes you gotta learn um, where it's not so good to appreciate. Like I told you, like my first 2 years, it was terrible with equipment, with tires blowing out. Tires. In one occasion, on one of the trips with before I came to Mesilla, I had 3 blowouts before I got to the border checkpoint in Sierra Blanca.
Oh my gosh.
3 blowouts, and it took in the evening. So in the morning they went to get me. So 12, 13 hours of just sitting there waiting for 3 tires. So that's the difference. So I tell them, don't burn any bridges, because chances really good you're going to be back. You're
Yeah.
going to be back.
What keeps you coming back to MBT day after day?
Oh, I I love my job. That's the thing, and the way I get treated, the company overall, and like I'll tell people, Messia's not perfect, but they're pretty darn close. You know, they're pretty darn close. Because like I said, some things you may not like a load, or you may do this. You do the job, and sometimes it's a little stressful with customers, but overall, to me, this is, like I said, this is where I want to finish my career. This is home.
I think we did the math. It's almost like 100,
Really?
by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah. That's somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that area.
Wow. Well, if you could describe MBT in one word to another driver, what would it be and why?
In one word, uh, family. You know, whether it's from Royal with the president. I mean, I don't see him a whole lot, but he's every time I see him, it's such a good feeling. And like I'll tell you, all the people in the offices, it's just nice. You feel at home.
I think that's a great place to end.
I hope so. God willing, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Manny, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story and giving us a real look into the life of a truck driver. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for watching this episode of Truck and Talk, getting us behind the wheel at Mesilla Valley Transportation. And to anyone listening and who's thinking about their next move or their first move as a driver, you can visit m-v-t.com to learn more about joining the MVT family. I'm Stephanie Valle. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and keep on trucking.